Trump administration is preparing to impose 15% tariffs on $160 billion in Chinese goods. The deadline is set for Sunday. There is talk of a possible delay to those tariffs, which would hit consumer goods like toys, phones, laptops, clothes. Join us now, Congressman Kevin Brady, ranking member of the Ways and Means Committee. Congressman, it's good to see you, as it always is. What can you tell us about the state of the negotiations that you know?
Yeah, my sense is that the parties have stayed at the table for recent months, that they feel like they're making good progress. My sense is that they're actually tackling the priorities we hope will be in a phase one: the intellectual property issues, the ending the forced tech transfer, removing the barriers on financial service and agriculture, those type of issues, plus enforcement. If those are reflected in a phase one agreement, I'll tell you that would be a very successful agreement.
You've never been the guy for palace intrigue. I don't know if I can get you to weigh in now, but are there two camps? Is there one pushing very strongly on not doing a deal because we're not getting enough and leaking things that way, and then another group of insiders pushing the other way?
You know, I haven't seen too much of that, honestly, Joe. It seems to me that this is one of those areas where it's in everyone's interest to have a substantive agreement. China, U.S., all parties in the U.S. And so I think that's where they're heading. I think that's one of the reasons that there is a cautious optimism around, because I think the progress they've made feels right.
Hey, Congressman, can you rattle off that list again? I mean, you talked about trademark, a lot of IP,
yeah,
all those issues. I mean, you say those things, that would be a great phase one deal.
Yo,
I think my expectations and the market's expectations are much lower, maybe just no tariffs, and they buy a bunch of ag products. What would that deal look like to you?
I think the White House has been very careful not to oversell this, but to really go for the substance. Obviously, you know, theft of intellectual property is huge. It really has started all of this. This forcing tech transfer isn't just tech. This is our manufacturing sector. So a big reason we're in China. Obviously, those barriers on the things we're good at selling, agriculture and financial services, huge as well. And then I think the biggest challenge always has been with China, lessons learned from past agreements with former presidents, is you've got to hold them accountable, and I think they've spent a great deal of time there. So if that phase one wraps those in, that's well, that really matters.
If it doesn't wrap all of that in, if it's a skinnier deal than that, would you think it's a good deal?
Well, I think the administration could have accepted a skinny deal much earlier than this. This is not why they got into this dispute. They want to redesign, reset that whole trading relationship. And if these are the types of issues, even a couple of those in phase one, that's substantive.
Congressman Peter Navarro is one of the players, obviously, and I don't know if he was really trying to hide anything when you use, you know, the letters of your name to make a nom de plume or a pen name. He's very hawkish, and I mean, he does have some influence. So it's not just the rumors of palace intrigue that there's two camps here. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't really sound like he wants this to be done. Who does Lighthizer listen to? I mean, obviously, a lot of people throw Lighthizer and Navarro into the same camp.
You know, I think Ambassador Lighthizer, whether it's USMCA, Japan, South Korea's agreement, or this with China, you know, he's got a boss. And I think he knows where President Trump wants to go. He knows where this economy needs to go on trade, and he's been in this a long time. And so, look, I don't know about all that. What I do know is there's a sense that they've made good progress. They're not going to rush into a bad deal, but it feels like, you know, they're continuing to march forward, and that's, I think, a good thing.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. What does your prescription drug bill look like? I know you want to talk about that. You know,
yeah,
we don't know the two parties have switched sides on a lot of things, and I'm not sure importing capped drug prices from other countries that don't develop any drugs is the right way to go.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, wrong solution there. And obviously, the Pelosi plan, they just dumped a bunch of bipartisan work that had been done for a really secret partisan bill It's going nowhere. What we did was put together the 40 bipartisan solutions in the House and the Senate that the president could sign this year if we could get it to them. That does two things. It does lower drug prices now, but it also accelerates more cures to the market. The fatal flaw with Speaker Pelosi's bill is it's a dangerous trade-off. You do get lower drug prices now, but you get far fewer cures in the future. That's not the solution here. In adopting those foreign approaches, which delays drugs, those families don't have access to these life-saving drugs, and they're not developed there. So we think we've got a bipartisan solution, 40 different provisions that can be signed in work.
Yeah, both sides have some great points to make there. Obviously, there are times when prescription drugs are the best value in town if they prevent some chronic disease and hospitalization, et cetera, and you want to develop these drugs. But then again, you see some of the pricing and the way, you know, the system gets gamed for patent and extending patents with extended release. There's, you know, so both sides are at fault and both sides have some good points. But it's,
I think, Joe, I think the thing here is, given the price of Alzheimer's, diabetes, cancer and all that, I think the costliest drug ever is the one that doesn't get developed, you know, for these very costly, damaging illnesses, and that's our point. Let's accelerate them. Let's not delay them.
you know, if I moved to Florida, I could get a pretty good meal based on just the salt stuff. You know what I mean? Because I can't deduct it anymore. So we can't move it.
I knew it was coming. I knew that was coming.
Well, are you going to do anything for relief here? I think I could even go to like a Morton's or something with the money I'd save. He really hurt us badly in New Jersey and New York. What are Democrats going to do there?
Call your governor, call your mayors, tell them to lower those taxes.
Lower the taxes. Don't get rid of the salt. You're not going to do that. Never going to happen. I have Josh Gottheimer on. He's like
whatever happened to tax 2.0 or 3.0? I thought
yeah, where's that going to be?
Adjustments around the edges. There were going to be some, you know, pendulum swings.
We already passed tax reform 2.0 last year. You voted against it, Josh. Come on over to the right side.
What about 3.0? What happened to 3.0?
Well, we're going for 2.1 next. Bottom line is we can do more for growth in this economy.
All right. Congressman Brady, thanks for coming on.